Morning and welcome to day 3 of the 2019 Australian Mixed Ultimate Championships. This is when it gets real. It's the semi-final. We're watching semi-final 1 between SOYPÜD and the OG Squiddos. My name's Andrew Moroney and I'm joined this morning by Beck Walbridge. How you going, Beck?
Yeah, not bad. Had a chat to SOYPÜD this morning. They did manage to find accommodation last night.
Tell us more for those who don't know. That's interesting. Usually you'd think a team would sort that out in the weeks or months preceding the tournament rather than the day of.
Yeah, so I think there are a few upset people that had to pay a bit of extra money that they didn't quite financially enjoy the burden of having to source accommodation.
Now, in a situation like this, it's a team sport, but you always want a name. You want someone to pile in on. Give me a name. Who cooked it?
I'm not 100% sure, but I was talking to Kate Robinson last night and she was not happy about having to find some accommodation last night.
So I have a name, and it's Ben Powley. Now, unfortunately, we'd like to bring you footage today of the Ultimate Frisbee, but there's a an Australian Shepherd puppy on the sideline. So I think that's Fausto, what we're probably going to spend most of our time looking at. So we will bring you score updates as they come through, but sorry, when you put something like that on the sideline, I don't think anyone at home or necessarily on the sideline is going to get a lot else done. So we'll be sure to bring you updates. Beck, do you know what the puppy's name is?
I think it's yet to be named. They're looking for suggestions for the name
well,
of the
there
puppy.
we go. So crowd involvement, please. If anyone has a name for Cron's new puppy. You can't call it Cron. We've already got a dog named Cron, so we've got to call a puppy named Cron. So SOYPÜD out of New South Wales with a few ring-ins. OG Squiddos from Victoria with a few ring-ins, I think, as well. So
now I'm having a look to see who's got a disc to pull, and I can't see either team holding a disc. So I'm not quite sure who's starting on defense.
It looks like Cal's actually motioning for a disc, so that's a good start.
So it looks like SOYPÜD on defense coming out.
So SOYPÜD will be in pink.
So interesting, I was talking to Mandy, who's coaching SOYPÜD this morning before the game, and she was saying that they played halibut together, which is pretty awesome.
Did Ben Powley book them accommodation at Halibut? Oh yeah, he got that one right.
Oh, okay. Right, okay. Good. Good to know. Oh, he booked accommodation for Ballarat last night. Good to know.
I'll probably make that mistake too. So as I was saying, SOYPÜD in pink, Ellipsis in white, Seb Barr in a very, very tight white. It's been an off-season, I guess. And it looks like Cal Spielman will be pulling.
Here we go.
First point of the semi, and we're off. Georgia Egan-Griffiths looking to receive the pull. Touches it, should be okay to Tom Tullett. Tullett hits Prentice. Prentice goes to the wing, far side wing. Cycle back into Georgia Egan-Griffiths. Barr goes up the line. Barr gets it up the line. Looks for the power, uses power position. Tullett's gone long, and that's a nice, easy first goal. Caught about 3 metres inside the back of the end zone. That's pretty smooth offense, Beck.
Yeah, SOYPÜD just couldn't really stop the unders, and then when you're playing against a team that can throw almost anywhere in the field, are you stopping the unders? Are you stopping the deeps? There's not a lot of wind today, unlike the rest of the weekend, so that's going to come in as well. It makes them a bit more of a dangerous side to play against. That's
hard, and when you give them power position, as you see Barr go up the line, defender half a step behind, Tullett off the front. Nose Barr has that throw. A little long, half a step inside the end zone. Very, very strong start.
Now I know that Liana Edwards, who's playing with the OG Squiddos, she's been playing for a couple of years, but she was living in the UAE for a little while, and played. I met her at Beach Worlds in France for a little while, and she's now moved back home to Australia, where she's started playing with Ellipsis again. So yeah, I think she plays footy as well, I'm being told.
Right, following in the footsteps.
Yep.
Okay, so we're going to get SOYPÜD's a look at SOYPÜD's first offense. Rob Andrew. Pretty decent pull, very good pull. Looks like Bree Edgar will take this one. She lets it hit the ground. Good run down by OG Squiddos. It goes out. Pete Ely run through D. Rory had pulled out of his cut, hits back to Rob, now to Seb. Seb cycles through to Georgia Egan-Griffiths. Real chance for OG Squiddos to put a dagger in early. Seb goes up the line, gets Tony up the line. And Seb again from power position, hits it, and that's a goal. That's the early break. I think it was to Adelaide out the back there.
So a mistake there by Bree, just not opening the vision up to be able to see what's going on around, where the defenders are, just that sneaky little poach hanging back off your player.
Well, I think Rory had half pull out of his cut. We'll get a look at it, but I think Rory had almost, he'd made the undercut, but it was almost like he was curving. It was either making a bad curving around cut, or he'd already started turning around to go deep.
Here we go. Let's have a look. So.
Yeah, he's already facing the wrong direction and going, whoops.
So Bree's just making a bit of a comeback now. So she's been coaching the last couple of seasons. Yeah, she was off on the sideline yesterday because she's got a bit of an injury in the calf, but good to see her back playing today. She's a powerful thrower.
Very good. Adelaide Dennis with the goal.
All right, OG Squiddos to pull.
So yesterday, a goal at that end would have been a big deal, but I think because of both the weather as well as the calibre of these teams, that's not necessarily going to be enough to get the job done today. So SOYPÜD's definitely still got got skin in the game. Castigliano collects, goes to Rory Connell.
Oh.
Rory to Powley. Powley just missed his target, just like he missed his booking accommodation. And George Egan-Griffiths here. Now this is a chance to make a bit of a statement to go to 3-0. Egan-Griffiths, really nice wide low flick to Ely. Pete Ely got the D to get the first break.
Is giving him a good little bit of tussle there.
It was to Rob Andrew now. Might have a look at that later. And Pete goes up the line, comes back. Gus absolutely belting Ely, but Ely's not biting. Ely's just going, I'm going to go long on you and score the goal. Oh, Cuppers, where's your theatre? You've got to send that. It was enough separation. Instead, OG Squiddos go, you know what, we're getting enough open unders every day. Tony marks Cupcake, makes him go back. And now Cupcake's on his bike, Rob. There's a little bit of ISO kind of opening up here. Georgia Egan-Griffiths. They all flood the same side now. Cupcake off the front, and then Pete Ely.
Good bid there by Tony Castellano. Great bid.
So it's been a while, speaking of comebacks, it's been a while since Gus Guy played, since Angus Keenan played. I don't remember there ever being a time, though, in Frisbee where it was a full contact sport.
Can you hug the player with the disc? That's what I want to know.
Maybe he's just enjoying being back. Maybe I've missed you, Pete. But yeah, certainly giving him a bit. See here.
Nice and close. Yeah.
Pete gives him a bit of the stiff arm, don't argue as well. So I don't think he's too fast, especially if Pete's just going to catch the goal. Gus can ride him as much as he wants. And that.
He's hugging me, so I just went.
Yeah.
We noticed, Pete.
Purely just letting us know his offensive
We've
play.
got the action replays. You don't need to do it.
Just push the player off with the marker off you.
Yeah. Good fun. Angus Keenan, probably 16, 17 years on the scene, so pretty well loved. I don't think anyone's going to be too fast. But story so far, the story that matters is OG Squiddos up 3-0. Over SOYPÜD. And now we're going to see Jake Angelovich with a really nice pull. It's just going to hit the end zone. That's Edgar. Edgar. Daniel. Hold it.
They're playing quite a deep stack.
Mahoney.
Very spaced out.
It's Alice C. Alice C looks to, she holsters one. Daniel comes back, looks for the swing, no swing around. It comes now, it was a little bit late. Beck Crosby's out now as a poached dump swing. Bree, big gainer down to C. And Krista Shen's off, and this looks like the first goal. Very nice.
Nice work, SOYPÜD.
C got in power position. That's the third goal this morning that we've seen come as a result of power position. The first, obviously, for SOYPÜD now. But C got in power position and Shen was absolutely off like a bullet.
That up the line, that Bree Edgar just opened that up there with that
Huge
beautiful
gainer.
forehand up the field. Really well to keep that going. Bit of a conversation between two players on the field. But seems like they've sorted it out. Game advisor stepped in just to help it out a little bit.
Semi-finals, people are playing close to the edge, so it's an awesome gainer from Bree. It's probably best part of 30 metres. And early on, just as or before the mark gets on.
So that brings us to 3-1 to OG Squiddos. Now, 91 playing for SOYPÜD is actually from Singapore, flown in for the weekend. Janice, or I've been told Giannis to call her.
Giannis.
So yeah, she's come in for Singapore to play, so she brings just a bit of a different element, different style of play to SOYPÜD. Also a bit of unpredictability. A lot of these players play against each other all the time, so it's always nice to throw someone different into the mix.
Change is as good as a holiday. All right, Rory Connell's pulls, a bit of it shorter. Sebo picks it up, hits Tullett. Looks like a vertical setup. Rob Andrew on the sideline. Great low flicks, very handy gainer.
So Birchett with the disc. Centers it to Andrews. Andrews nice and easy over to Bar. So looking to center it.
Stacks a bit deep.
Yeah.
But this is what they do well. If they see that, they just run a little bit of give go until they get a bit closer. Open. Oh, Denya came in. He saw that there was an open player streaming under for the little 2-metre goal, so he came off Cupcake, peeled off, went under. Rob Andrew.
OG Squiddos have been playing together long enough that if you poach off them, they're just totally going to take advantage of that.
Particularly those two peanuts. Like Rob and Cupcake, I think all they've done is play together for the last 8 years, so it's a fair chance.
Here
so
we
you
go.
see Rob up. Now, Tullett is the first one in there.
And then Birchett comes across.
And that's a goal. And
just wide open.
Then you didn't have a choice there. I think you picked the right thing. You've got to make him throw over.
Absolutely.
But we're seeing a little bit of separation now. OG Squiddos definitely the start that they wanted.
So 4-1 to OG Squiddos. But SOYPÜD definitely still in this. I wouldn't discount them yet. I think they're just finding their groove a little bit. I think they just need to apply a little bit more pressure on defense.
The amount of swag and arrogance coming back over the sideline between Bar and Tullett, just trading handler war stories is disgusting. That's first brick of the game. They are very happy with themselves, both of them. And rightly so. There's been some very nice, as we were saying, there's been some very nice handler movement. Some good up the lines. 2 or 3 goals so far from the OG Squiddos have come from up the lines. So Joshi Phillip will be marking Tony Castricano.
Bit of a height difference there.
Not too much of a bulk difference, big boys.
Yeah, it's true.
Bree Edgar. So Tony straight away breaks to Bree. And then they cycle back to Tony. Gus Keenan, welcome back.
Oh, do we get the pushback?
Pete giving him a nice wide mark to Ash Evans. Ash Evans, marked by Jake.
Oh, he wanted to send that.
Now he's got a bit of a problem. Oh, 2 half bids. And now the offense needs a little bit of help. Tony gives it that help. Castrigano does what the team needed him to do and swings it into the middle of the field to Ash Evans. Ash Evans holding it now. Nothing coming break side. Hits Gus pretty straight up. And now Gus is able to get the break to see.
Easy throw.
Awesome goal,
it was
opened it up.
That swing from Tony to the centre of the field that just really opened that up for them. They were really stuck on the sideline. They were mucking around down here, some risky throws, but that nice just re-centering it into the centre of the field just made complete difference, opened up the whole field for them.
Yeah, they had about 4 or 5 passes that were just starting to push in.
Notice that Pete Ely giving Gus a little bit more room than Gus had given him on the previous point.
Yeah, no comparison. There was you could actually see daylight for a start.
Absolutely. You see nice, easy offense there, easy goal.
Like you said, SOYPÜD not going away. They're not going to be intimidated. in the first few points or in the first half.
Too much experience on their team to just roll over. Saw Ash Evans come to say hi in the commentary box. Wanted to send it during that last point, but unfortunately the team wasn't delivering for you, Ash. She had eyes only for the end zone. All right, and we've got Rory with the disc looking to pull to OG Squiddos.
Good pull from Rory. This will hang, give OG Squiddos SOYPÜD every chance to get down. Tullett collects the disc, looks to send it to Bar, but he can't because the rundown was very strong. Cycle down. Now they're on the sideline with Tullett. Tullett moves it back inside. Edwards. Keeps the flow going to Bar. Bar goes upstairs to Tullett. Oh, and Tullett overshoots. I think, is that McGuckin?
So McGuckin was in the end of that end zone when Seb Bar had that with his arm in the air going, just put it up. I've got this in the air. I can beat Rory, backing himself. But Bar looked him off, gave it to Cupcake, Tom Tullett, and he's tried to send it nice out in front of Guckin, but a bit too low, a bit too far.
Just threading the needle a little bit. So Rory Connell taking it from the end zone sideline. Cal Spielman hasn't touched it yet.
So Janice, I should call her by a real name.
Mahoney.
Bit of a messy stack going on
Out to
here.
Palais, Airbnb Palais. Nice to Giannis. And she unloads one.
Oh.
Big flick, but I think the boys are going to get there on top of the intended receivers, which were the girls, and there's going to be a call.
That looks clean. I'd like to see it again. Let's have a look.
The question will be, so I think there's a cannonball effect here, yeah.
Oh, he's made contact with Prentice on the way
And
up.
Prentice has probably gone in,
Yeah. So, oh, no.
Okay,
All right.
I think if you look back in the replay, Prentice actually called an injury, so I think they
Okay.
wanted to take a minute. So, all good. Instead now, Georgia Egan-Griffiths, she shoots one, and Cupcake's gone long again, and I think that's his third goal of the game.
Wow, receiver.
What is wrong in the world when Tom Tullett's a receiver?
I mean, I guess he's been playing as a handler position for so long that people mark him
Yeah,
as a handler.
That's
Just
spot
like
on. They've marked him under.
Gives
that's
him all
his-
this space.
That's almost a carbon copy of the cut he made off Bar, where he just saw good handler with good power position.
And I mean, that's both teams here. Both teams have strong enough players that anyone gets it, anyone can send it.
A little bit of contact, but I think every player in that contest did their best to avoid the contact and go straight up.
Yeah. It was a pretty clean grab in the end.
And then we see Rob Andrew through, hit Egan Griffiths, and that's a stellar shot. That's pinpoint. So Squiddos maintain the separation, 5-2.
Be interesting to see. We've only seen match defense. Yesterday we were seeing a lot of zone being played. I guess the wind is not as windy as it was, but it is picking up a little bit. We've got 5-2 to OG Squiddos.
Cupcake pulls high, not as deep. Probably halfway between the end zone and the brick mark. Castrogano picks up. Ash Evans comes out the break side. He's going to call a pick.
So Ash went to go deep then, and he's come hard under.
Yeah, but just he had 2 steps down the open
Yeah.
side before then going through. He's not happy about it, but
I think it was a fair
it
call.
also doesn't matter. Yeah, you're allowed to not be happy about it, but you just need to also go and walk back to your position. So that, again, if you're looking at the positioning here, the stack is very, very deep. Kate Robertson, fantastic break to Gus. Still got it. Tullett marking him to Castrogano. Castrogano, Adelaide Dennis, really good coverage down, and there's been a turn. Yeah, there's a turn. Thought maybe there was a little bit of contact coming out of it. It just looks like it came out of the hand wrong. And this is a chance for OG Squiddos to make a real statement.
There's a bit of discussion about where the disc is going to come in.
And if it's coming from there, it is the stack is too deep. They're adjusting now.
So Becky on the mark. Goes Inzi. Inzi's looking, wants it back in the middle of the field. Aiden Griffith to Tullett. Tullett's looking, wants end zone. Eyes only for end zone. Gives it to Adelaide Dennis in the end zone. Nice, easy goal. Just SOYPÜD can't afford to make a mistake here because as soon as they do, it's going to get,
But
giving OG Squiddos a goal because their offense has just been so clinical.
And I'm glad you're saying that because every time we've said something like that, it's stopped happening.
That's
so
true.
This is our
That
way
is
of
true.
helping SOYPÜD get back in the contest. You're welcome.
So see there that Tullett just got eyes for the end zone only, but why not? She had so much.
Like you said,
So much
when you know
leverage.
that there are offensive options coming from the stack, you know, you're allowed to hold on to the disc for 1 or 2. Conversely, for SOYPÜD, they're sending 1 or 2 cutters at a time. We saw the first one, Adelaide Dennis, having really good coverage on her player. Then the next one had, I think it was Gus Guy, having pretty close contact and coverage. So, you know, that all of those things build pressure in the handler's mindset, which is, again, probably what contributed to Tony looking out break side, pushing a throw that wasn't there, and causing the turnover. Ben Powley still with the audacity to high-five his teammates after what he's pulled this weekend. Be hanging
You'd
his
hope
head.
he'd be shouting last night's accommodation. for the team.
I would say his credit card's going down pretty hard. As we watch the pool come down, SOYPÜD with the disc.
Looking
Denya,
to get some meterage there.
yeah,
There we go.
Bree Edgar. Bree. Denya comes in, good, goes up the line, but now they're still stuck in this position. They're not using the width of the field. Mahoney shoots one long.
It's going. She's got days.
Set up very nicely for Beck
But
Crosby.
there's no one there. There's no one there for her.
Counter getting high on Beck Crosby.
Oh.
That is a very long.
Oh.
Denya eventually gets it done.
I think that's, we saw a fair bit of that yesterday, the get it right in front of the end zone. Hey, everyone, let's go straight to the play with the disc.
I really want everyone to run at me. I want someone to count to 10 while I'm doing it, and I want all those people to yell at me.
And if you can get
really helps.
close enough to me that your defender gets in my space as well, that's going to be really
Even
beneficial.
better.
So you see she gets
Great
it
card.
just outside the end zone. She's looking. She's got no one in the end zone for her. And so everyone just starts streaming past within a couple of meters of her, causing absolute chaos. You can see there she's looking for options.
But you see what Denya did. Denya actually took a few steps back. Went, okay, I understand that you're probably going to throw a better 5-metre throw than you're going to throw a 2-metre throw. So it gives a little bit of separation.
Yeah, but
Calms
good
down.
patience there to not just try and rush that throw, to kind of wait for an option, see if there was something there. So, SOYPÜD getting on the board. It's OG Squiddos 6, SOYPÜD 3. Doing well here. SOYPÜD is still in this. They're just really struggling, SOYPÜD, to get free of the OG Squiddos defense.
Strong pull. This will be going back corner with Bar to Tullett.
Gone with a horror stack this time, OG Squiddos.
Tullett works hard to get a break out. Now they cycle through, continue using the power position, no mark. Mark comes now, Egan Griffiths centralises. Georgia Egan Griffiths back to Tullett. Tullett cycle back to Georgia Egan Griffiths. Georgia Egan Griffiths running this entire offense at the moment. Seb Barr puts up a pie, and that's going to have 12
he's
under
looking
it.
for Flores in the end zone. Oh!
And he didn't even have to jump.
Oh, wow.
Andrews is a tall fella with a big jump, and he didn't have to use either.
However, he was looking for Flores in the end zone. One of the shortest players on the OG Squiddos line.
Yeah.
And he threw it to a height that Rob Andrews had to go in there and grab it.
Yeah, well, it was three. There were three pairs in there as well.
So I don't know if you noticed, but there are... Oh, here we go. We'll watch the throw again. Probably not his prettiest
Nice and
throw.
high.
Very high.
It's nice when it's high because everyone can run underneath it.
Yeah, you want as many people under the disc as possible.
Oh, he got a hand on it.
Callum was so close to that. Nearly got it, but unfortunately.
Yeah, Cal, you gotta catch it.
So he's, yeah, struggled a little bit to get that
So
there.
I'll let him know. He knows.
Okay,
next,
great.
So, yeah.
I don't know if you noticed, but that was a OG Squiddos did a bit more of a horror that time. And when Eden Griffin, so when Georgie got it on the sideline, the two wings just went streaming to the end zone, trying to look for that power play position straight to be able to shoot it to the end zone. But unfortunately, SOYPÜD's defense was just a little bit too strong for them to be able to get that off.
So 7-3. OG Squiddos have a chance here to break, take half. 8-3 is a commanding position. 8-4 is something where things can change, as we saw yesterday in the pre-semi with Credo going down ultimately, but down at 8-4 at half, brought it back to Universe Point. As it rolled out.
So Tony playing in a handler role here. So he's traditionally been a defensive player. It's good to see him doing a bit more throwing and offense.
All right, so Cal Ward moves it up. Back to T-Cass. T-Cass with Bendigo. Bendigo has it. Goes to put one. Thinks better of it. Moves back to Tony. Not much happening by way of a stack. And undercoming, but there's good coverage by Edwards. Denyo holds it. Back to Rory Connell. Rory looking for one out. T-Cass gets nice separation. Denya's going, but Tullett has him marked well. Now Denya's coming over. Connell, poach, nice break by T-Cass, and Connell putting a lovely weighted pass, but Edwards has it and has to go again. Is it a goal?
Is that it? That was a huge double grab. They called it a goal? That's in. That's
Very
in.
nice,
She
both
did
players.
well, man. She did well to be able to go for that second grab. A lot of players would have just gone, oh, no, it's deed. It's done. But not Janice. She's gone in there, gone for that second bid. But she's managed to get it. Edwards will be a bit upset, I think, about not catching that defense.
Leona did all the hard work. So firstly, nice break from Tony. Under.
Pete Ely's been sitting in that lane
Yep.
all day. Just bumps up. Both of them go for it. Oh, just snatches it.
Justin as well.
She does well to get that. There you see it again. Both of them working hard to get there. Oh. Edwards, I think she just stopped running a little bit after that first touch, and she did well though. Notice that SOYPÜD, when they were cutting, unfortunately, everyone was streaming deep at the same time, everyone coming under at the same time. They've got to work a little bit more on cutting off each other's cuts rather than all trying to do the same thing at the same time. So OG Squiddos 7, SOYPÜD 4. Trying to stay within touching distance.
OG Squiddos chance to take half. Nice deep pull again, forces Bar to catch it. And Tullett back to Bar. As Beck said, it looks a bit more of a horror look now. Francis. That one hits the ground.
Just rush that throw.
And Rory Connell picks it up, looking to go quickly, but his team wasn't ready. So Mahoney makes the first cut, but it's not a very convincing one.
Back to Janice.
Paolé.
Surprised he's allowed to play.
Paolé looks off the completely open dump swing coming out, but instead hits Mahoney, but Cupcake gets in front of him. Mahoney had stopped, and Paolé's given him an absolute bake. Paolé lost his mind at Mahoney. In any case, Bar. Egan Griffiths, long break, but that hits the ground.
To her ankles, to Burchett's ankles. She's speedy. She's a very speedy player, but you've got to throw it to the chest, not to the feet. Make it very difficult for her.
Big point in this game. Get a break.
Callie's angry now. He's gone streaming.
Oh, big boy gets up.
What a grab!
And he's pretty happy.
Oh. Rectified himself there. He's done well to grab that.
Rory's got a great shot. Like, that goat was going with pace. He doesn't have to put a lot on it, but because he's a big unit, he can put a lot of power in. I thought there was half a chance to go over Paule's head, but he knew his read.
Absolutely. He did well to jump, timed that jump, right time, got up.
You see that turn. It's the first turn.
2 to Burchett's feet.
And then this is
this
the D,
one.
I think, here where
Oh,
Mahoney
Cupcake
stops.
He's behind him, and he just...
Well, Mahoney had half pulled out. I think it was another one of those cases where the throw's gone. The turn. The throw's gone, but the cut stopped.
Yeah, you got to run through the disc.
Paule full extension. One step inside the end zone over bar.
And Bar just in the wrong position there.
Yeah. He wouldn't be able to get his arms up above his shoulders in that kind of shirt anyway.
So SOYPÜD making a bit of a comeback now. They haven't been within 2 since the
We got a
the
game.
start of the game.
We got a game.
So we'll see if OG Squiddos have that horror offense again.
All right, it'll be Egan Griffiths picking up, going to Tullett. Back to a vert look now. Kim Spragg, nice 10-metre gainer. Adelaide Dennis going long. Kim doesn't want it. She instead hits Andrews on the open under. McGuckin goes deep. Spragg, no
she's
mark.
just completely on her own.
Egan Griffiths still has Spragg, no mark. Instead goes upstairs.
Oh.
And there's a little bit of contact coming through from both players, but I think he knew.
Callan coming in as well just forced McGuckin to jump earlier than he really wanted to, and just went straight over his head. Now the wind has picked up a little bit. Maybe that had something to do with it. There's a bit of a chat going on about whether there was contact or something there, but no, being retracted.
There definitely was contact, but Guck had also realised that was over his head. So.
Yeah. All right, Edgar with the disc in the middle of the field. Back to Tony. Oh, bit high.
Adelaide Dennis, good
Adelaide.
D. Tony
And
putting
they
too
are
much air on it.
now. SOYPÜD scrambling to get the D on and just could not get there in time.
And that's the first half. 8-5 to the Squiddos.
So SOYPÜD have got to try a different strategy this second half. They're just not applying enough pressure on defense. Their offense, they've
had two.
work together.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. They've had 2 turns. One at the start of the game. Start of the first half. One towards the end of the first half, where there'd been a miscommunication. A player had thrown. That player had half pulled out of their cut. And it just shows they're either cutting to the wrong spots or throwing in the wrong spot.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
A player, yeah, they're not communicating.
So it'll be interesting to see what Coach Mandy does to change a bit of the mindsets of SOYPÜD, get them working cohesively together again.
What do OG Squiddos do at halftime? Do they just go and cuddle the dog? Is that what
Yeah, I
they do?
think so. Well, why not? Why
Yeah.
wouldn't you?
Yeah. You know what? If that's working, and here on cue, they
Yeah,
go.
that's what
2 or
I'm gonna
3
do.
players. Yeah. This is the halftime plan.
All right. Well, we'll go cuddle a cute puppy.
Yeah, I
and we'll
mean,
be back
you may as
in the
well get in
second
on it.
half.
Yeah, everyone wants a piece of it. So.
All right. We'll see you after the break.
And welcome back for the second half. We've got SOYPÜD on 5, trailing the OG Squiddos on 8.
So on the far side of the field, they're also having the other semi-final, and it looks like my Karoma unfortunately down at the moment. They're down by 4, so they've just had their half as well. So potentially will be an OG Squiddos versus Pie Wagon final. If that's the case, that's the only team that OG Squiddos have lost to coming into this game. And they, talking to them before the game, they said that they hadn't really played that well in that game, but we'll see. Still got to win this one.
Tasty, yes, getting a touch ahead of themselves a bit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Starting to talk about that. So Rory Connell moves out to Castrogano. Castrogano cycles back to Connell. Connell back to Castrogano. Holds it to Gus Guy. Gus Keenan goes inside.
Shannon Bolt.
Bub. T-Cas goes up the line. Gets a little bit of attention from Peely.
Absolute chaos on the sideline there.
It's a great throw. Unfortunately, Janice just bobbled out of her hand.
And SOYPÜD just all cutting to the one spot directly in front of her. It's just that lack of confidence in their player. Just that.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like they ran 2 or 3 into the lane.
Yeah.
It was the right idea from Bub to actually swing the disc and open the field up. But too much pressure because it was high in the count. Anyway, Rob Andrew. Egan Griffiths shakes and bakes, gets it back, swings it over to Prentice. Prentice holds. Egan Griffiths.
Bouncing it around. Oh, there
couple
wasn't
of
much
times.
movement though coming from the stack. They were forced to bounce that around between each other. So initially, when SOYPÜD had it, they had some great cuts happening. Here we go.
Cal Spielman.
Over to Bub.
Bub lets one go.
Sends it up to Robertson.
Gone.
Oh, just a bit too far out in front, but right idea. That's what we needed to see from SOYPÜD. Started to open up the field a bit more.
Robert has to do some work to get back in position because Cupcake
ran
it. Unreal D!
Oh, Singapore. That was Janice. Giannis. That was huge.
Get around her.
Oh, that's the defense that SOYPÜD need to get him back in this game. That was, phenomenal effort by her. And I don't think that Prentice saw that at all.
No. All right, Rory. Don't muck this up.
We can see an isolated player in the end zone.
Rory. Gus Guy. Keenan. Keenan gets Rory and they get it done.
They snuck that one in.
We're treating the field of inches, yeah.
So interesting there that Bub probably should have pulled out of that isolated player. So she was the one that they chose to be the focus player in the end zone there. Thought, all right, we'll sit one person out. We'll try and get it to her. One-on-one contest. This will be good. But she just stayed in there maybe a little bit too long. And she's stuck in the front of that end zone space. And she didn't really allow much space for the rest of her teammates. Oh, that D again. Oh, beautiful defense there by Janice. So SOYPÜD making a comeback here.
Exactly what you want coming out of half. 6-8.
So if SOYPÜD can keep that defensive pressure up, they are definitely in this with a chance. Just got to keep on grinding from here, keep that intensity, that added pressure. So SOYPÜD are looking pretty happy on the sideline with that.
Well, the OG Squiddos just didn't really give the disc back in the first half.
Yeah, absolutely. They didn't get that second
Either side,
chance.
even if they got the turn, their D-line, more often than not, we're punching it in now. We're starting to see turns, and we're starting to see turns not just from good defense, but from unforced errors.
Absolutely.
So, you know, this is the 9th game of the tournament.
So Birchett with the disc.
Cupcake too close.
Oof.
Just gets it.
Lucky she's got that good inside throw. Oh, easy. Easy throw. Now Birchett, she's a bit of a weapon. She plays down in Geelong often and has played quite a few tournaments with the Mudlarks, the Geelong men's team actually. So she doesn't mind a bit of mix, doesn't mind getting amongst it with the boys and playing with them, and is not intimidated by playing against men, which is exactly the style of player that you want on your team. She's a speedy weapon. They've been nicknaming her the GOAT of their team.
Oh, the GOAT.
She's done a lot of scoring. and a lot of other teams have underestimated her.
So for the non-millennials, Beck, what's it go? Are we
the
calling
greatest
her
of
a
all time.
Greatest of all time. So
It's
an acronym, is it?
Acronym. Yep,
Yeah.
absolutely. So, look, I don't think she's been super influential in this game so far, but there's potential there apparently.
So Tullett just probably too close. I mean, they were able to squeeze it through, but that's half a fingertip. In fact, I think Mahoney may even got a fingertip on it. What he did with the disc after that was spot on, but that I think when you see that kind of stress and panic start to creep in, that's when the dumps really start to get a little bit closer.
Which is
thinking
the
that,
last thing you need.
well, it's the most counterintuitive thing a handler can do. I'm going to make it easier for you by getting closer to you. It's not it's not how it works.
Castrano gives it to Edgar. She looks straight across to Evans. There's nothing for him though. So there's no next cut. So back to Callan in the middle of the field. Oh, and he wants it. He sends it to Bub. She's got meters on her player. Perfect throw. Just unbelievable throw, making it nice and easy for her to run on. And Bub is up and about. She's very excited.
So that's probably the third or fourth time now that there's a SOYPÜD player at the front of the stack that's unmarked. They've sent Peely into the lane. On that occasion, they sent Rob Andrew into the lane. And I don't think they need to do it because from both of those positions, like, there was a reasonable amount of
Here we go.
pressure
Have a look
coming
at it
in.
here. Yep, so Andrew's a bit slow to get over. And that just totally overbites on that backhand side for Callan and just leaves it wide open for him.
He was able to do that because Rob was sitting in the lane.
Yeah.
But he's also not, and you made this point yesterday, Beck, if you're not doing something actively in the lane, go and mark the player.
Absolutely.
Do one of the two, don't kind of hedge your bets.
Yeah.
So
You're no use just sitting in space.
back the rest of the team. I mean, these teams are in the semi for a reason. Back the rest of your team. Don't sit in the lane. Just play honest match defense because that's just a pressure valve release now, and it keeps it to 7-9 with SOYPÜD in striking distance.
So SOYPÜD are actually winning this half so far. It's 2-1 after half in SOYPÜD's favour. So they've definitely changed things up a little bit.
Yeah, and I think it's now on the Squiddos to go, right, what are we going to do differently, particularly on defence?
All right, 2 people marking Seb there.
Still gets to go out.
Oh, sends it. What did I say?
Left.
Oh, what a
On the
grab. She's not afraid to put it, Burchett. Oh, pops it over the top. Nice and
That's
easy.
Stella, the GOAT, and also Prim as well.
Absolutely.
Prentice.
So Burchett's not afraid to send it if she needs to, and if you give her the space.
Credit also to Prentice at full extension.
Absolutely.
SOYPÜD releasing the pressure valve. I think there were probably a couple of confused matches coming down. As you said, 2 went to Seb. Burchett had enough time to assess her options before putting it deep. Have a look here, 2.
She just had no one on her all the time.
And then Prim left of screen.
Yeah.
Prentice goes. That's enough separation to send that. But it's still at heat. And Prim at full extension manages to reel it in.
And Seb just
Quick
running
dump.
up there.
Flippy floppy backhand into the end zone.
There we see that grab again. Just grabs the trailing edge as it comes over the top. Nice and easy. Full confidence in Seb to pop it over back to her.
2 old friends in Denyer and Ely catching up on the sideline, laughing. Thankful about the fact that neither of them have to play for Perth anymore. All right, we've got, as the pool comes up, OG Squiddos to SOYPÜD, and it's Brie Edgar in a return tournament. Puts the backhand out to Cal. Cal
Makes
drops
it hard for him.
And OG Squiddos think about the quick run, and the wind has arrived. And if it sticks around, the OG Squiddos only have to move it about 15 metres. They're just inside the brick mark. Tullett going to the disc. Gus Guy marking him. Egan Griffiths now has Tom back on the 45 as well as Inzi.
Oh.
Really nice D between
Looks like he's
Castricano.
not happy about
He's
how
not.
he got to that disc. So they'll have a bit of a chat about it.
We're having a look. So it was, a little bit of hip and shoulder, but it wasn't
of a
certainly not intentional.
So they're having a bit of a chat, asking the game advisors if they've
Good.
got
That's
a
what
bit
they're there
of
for.
information, they can shed some light on what exactly happened. So we'll have a look at this again. disc goes up. Tony's running. There's a bit of a push there. It almost looks like he was, you know, it could be either way. It could be that he was kind of, you know, Tony, I think, believes that he was running in a straight line towards the disc. I think he just maybe got to that space before Inzi, but look, it's up to them. So they're having a bit of a chat, trying to figure it out. It does get to a certain point in the game, though, where they go, you know what, chat's gone a little bit too long. We didn't make a decision, we come back to it. All right, so foul's been called, but they're just, it looks like it's going to be uncontested. Looks like it's uncontested. And it's coming back in.
Inzi moves it back to Cupcake to Tullett, but now the stack is far too deep. No options. Jake Angelovich comes back but has tight coverage from Ash Evans. Georgia Egan-Griffiths continuing to cycle this offense. Moves it out to Tullett. Tullett now looking into the end zone corner to score. Instead swings it out to Egan-Griffiths, doing a fantastic job as this axis. Moves it across to the Rob Andrew. Rob opens the backhand and Cupcake towing it. I don't think anyone's saying it's not in, therefore it
Bit of
is
a chat, decided that it's gone. So Tullett having to do a lot of work there to get that score. It seems like downfield there were not a lot of options. SOYPÜD putting on some great pressure defensively. So he really had to work hard to grind to get that point. Lots of movement around the disc, lots of handler ISO. Great work. See this back and forth. And then not much happening deeper in the stack. And Tony kind of realizing that they just had eyes for Tullett only. And goes to try and help out covering him, but gets there a little bit too late. Wind has definitely picked up. Also noticed that some of the selectors for the World's teams have come down to watch.
Who are they, Beck?
Semi-finals. Well, so I know that I've noticed Yui kind of wandering around, keeping an eye on some of the players, seeing how they're going in their mixed environment. So I know that he's around doing that. I know that, I mean, Ansett is coaching at the moment, but he's also been keeping a bit of an eye on what's going on. I noticed that Matt Hill's around with his camera as well, so everyone's looking to impress this weekend. All right, 11-7 to Squiddos. Unfortunately, SOYPÜD couldn't keep that run on, but we'll see them on offense now.
Good pull from Cupcake. Hits Dunyor. Goes to the big man, Rory Connell. Takes a big backhand. Not a lot doing in the stack as per, but Cullen got out. Nice gainer.
Oh, Robbo.
Wasn't meant for Robbo, but Robbo grabs it. Nice work.
Oh, she's looking. Oh, Becky. Oh, great work there to get that. When it's over the head, it's hard to read. Oh, SOYPÜD celebrating a little bit early there, thinking it was in.
Way. Denya. Abject chaos out in the stack and into the end zone. Denya, oh, he goes, but good because Bar had him covered. And there's going to be
it was, I mean, good to look to the other side because there was absolutely nothing on the open side, but unfortunately that throw just did not come off.
Speaking of throws, credit to Kate Robertson for her throw, that gainer up as we just watched the turnover.
Nah.
It's probably a flick there, Cal. Well, Bar with the disc in on this corner. He shoots long, it's low, but it's going to get the job done to Andrews. Andrews back to McGuckin. McGuckin back to Andrews. McGuckin then goes.
To Burchett.
Moves it to the goat.
Andrews having to just slow it down there because not many options coming. McGuckin now with the disc, looking for the end zone, but there's just not a lot of movement in the stack.
Rory face marking, which meant McGuckin could just put it out into space to Andrew, who moves it across to Seb, who goes bullet to the goat.
Unfortunately.
But if you overthrow the goat, you really need to take a good look at yourself because it's certainly not their fault. So
it might be the tight shirt.
Oh, it has to be the tight shirt. Look at that, it's about to rip.
Normally has. A bit restricted.
Oh, look at that. It's like watching the Hulk post morphing. That thing is painted on, so
Poor guy.
I know the Squiddos have had a little bit of feedback around their uniforms, so Seb's obviously just opted to paint his on.
All right, let's see if there's a bit more movement from SOYPÜD off the disc.
Oh, Cal.
So Callan wanting to go deep there, but just trips over McGuckin's feet.
Couldn't get the slip diff.
C with the disc. Alice with the disc. Oof. A little bit behind.
Mahoney looks, holsters. Rory comes out, uses his body to create a little bit of separation on Andrews, and then Rory goes and puts one to Mahoney, McGuckin
Oh,
and
McGuckin's
Tullett.
under it.
Oh,
Oh,
Mahoney ran under it.
just jumped a little bit too early.
Big gainer. No one up in front. Seb Bar, the only player now, and the goat behind. Great reception, great put, great grab.
Looking for a dump.
Seb provides. Puts it out wide for Dennis, and that's a goal. The 7-11.
It's now 7-12.
Is it?
Yeah, 7-12 to Squiddos, is it? Yep. So OG Squiddos just pull away a little bit further. So 7-12 to OG Squiddos. And Birchett doing well, patient with the disc. Just goes, oh, such a great run from Becky to get that from Robbo. And then it just chaos in that end zone, forcing that pass that just did not come off. And then we see Seb, tight shirt, overthrowing, unfortunately. Just couldn't
Oh,
get
now
that
he's
one
getting
off.
the guns out. Ooh.
Surprised it hasn't ripped yet.
Oh, I'm surprised it hasn't yet.
He's done well. And then Birchett just nice and easy, patient. Looks for a dump, not many options, but Seb provides. And then easy throw to Dennis, who gets it in the front of the end zone. All right, Andrews with the pull. OG Squiddos running down, match defense. Prentice, a great run, streaming down.
Spot on, Beck. Locked down that first throw to Edgar.
Oh, TCAS puts it up, just too much. It seems like the PUD play just kind of pulled out a little bit of that.
Yeah, it was going at a fair hook, though.
Yes,
Crosby.
I think that maybe day one that would have come off.
Yeah.
But day three, unfortunately, a bit tired legs.
But the point you made before is at the start of the game there was not a lot of wind.
Yeah.
Now
wind
there's a
has
fair
definitely
bit,
picked
and
up.
I think, more to the point, if that was thrown at the start of the game, you'd be running onto it. But now,
And the
particularly
wind is
anything.
definitely upfield, downfield.
Exactly.
So OG Squiddos throwing into the wind now. Prentice just so much space there. And
To Flores, Egan Griffiths. Flores looks to go up the line. Edgar has that covered instead, moves it upfield. There's a pit called, so it's going to go back. Actually, I think it's going to stay loose.
Yep, didn't really affect
Robin
what's
Powley.
going on. So OG Squiddos are using the whole field here. They're not afraid to just keep swinging it back and forth across the field, open up some options. Very comfortable, just moving amongst the handlers until their rest of the offense is set up. Disc is in. Oof.
Make it work. Egan Griffiths. Ely goes long. Now Rob Ander up the line, beats Powley up the line. Powley overbites, gives Rob a look at the break side, which he uses to Flores, but it was a bit too much on it. Didn't need to throw it as hard as he did.
Edgar looking for a quick movement, but causing a bit of chaos downfield for SOYPÜD.
Airband Powley moves back to Janice. Janice, wide gainer, but over the top of Bree Edgar. Probably the first error we've seen from Janice in an otherwise pretty impressive game.
Absolutely.
Georgia Egan Griffiths absolutely dominating the backfield of this offense.
Sprague done well to run through the disc there. To Healy.
One throw out.
Oh, Jake is on his own.
Hey, the long fella!
Been a while since he's played a Nationals
Yeah.
campaign.
But he's here now. Catches his first goal of the game. He's absolutely thrilled about it, as you can all see. He's having a good time, everybody. Jake Angelovic, of course, in terms of worlds representatives, coached a few worlds himself. Played a few.
We haven't seen much of a change from SOYPÜD's offense. They seem to still all be wanting to cut to the same space at the same time, making it very hard for the person with the disc.
So that's 13-7 now. And SOYPÜD really need to make some deliberate decisions if they're going to stay in this game. 2 more points needed from OG Squiddos to book their place at 130. We will endeavour to get you to some scores from around the other games. It was previously in the 5-6 playoffs, 6-all between Crank and Credo from New Zealand. All right, SOYPÜD. Slight upwind that they're going to have to put in to keep this game alive. And then a few more after that.
And looks like Tullett will be pulling.
Fun fact about Tullett, when he started, he tried to convince people that his name was Chule. I'm not joking.
Was he once French?
No, but he is from the North Shore.
Oh, right, okay.
Chule.
Chule.
So
I feel like maybe we should start
I think that's going to
that.
catch on. So Denya moves
there's
it. Cal Spielman.
streaming.
Spielman back to Denya.
Shen just streaming at the back, but looked off.
Connell. Robertson makes that cut out, can't get it, back to Spielman. Spielman to...
Oh, sends it, sees Rory going, but Inzi, it's a good matchup here.
In man in front, or player in front. Rory Connell gets it done, did well, used that big body, 2 big bodies there.
Absolutely.
Used his big body to protect the space in front. Not a lot Inzi could have done there.
I'm going to call it. At that point, there were a lot of girls that were free.
I think you're entirely right to call it. I think we called the same 4 names.
Got looked off a couple of times.
100%.
I think that's a bit unfortunate. It seems like the men in the team kind of seem to have eyes for each other at the moment.
And if that's smooth offense and an isolation set play, you go okay. You might not agree with it, but you go okay.
Yeah.
But when you see essentially a pie being raffled off between Inzi and Connell, you go, well, hold on, that wasn't. Not what you'd call smooth offense.
It's probably the first time I've really noticed it in that point. But
I think in the game
we'll keep an eye on it.
Yeah, I think in the game it's been both teams have really used all their players, but maybe and I wouldn't be surprised you see this at a few points down.
Yeah.
Players who, not only from a gender perspective, but also from a teammate perspective. These are the colony players.
They know each other. They know each other's styles. They're comfortable.
10 years they've done it. So,
absolutely.
And that's maybe not the right answer, but that's from a mindset perspective where people go, oh, geez, I just need to throw to someone I know.
And I know where they're going to stand. I know where they're going to cut to. Absolutely. So SOYPÜD called a timeout here. Yeah. So Powley signalled a timeout. So I think they're just trying to reset, get control back in this game. Yeah. They had it at the start coming out after half, and they've just lost it a little bit.
Yeah. And for SOYPÜD, it worked that point.
Yeah.
But that's not going to work for the next 7
by
any stretch. So hopefully that's what they're talking about here. They're going, right, we need to reset, need to get back to our structures.
They're getting up and about. Powley's really having a chat to him now.
Hopefully he's apologising.
Sorry I didn't book accommodation last night, guys. Yeah. It's on me. My bad.
I know you all had to sleep on milk crates last night, but let's not think about that. Let's think about scoring the next 7 points.
All right, it'll be interesting to see how SOYPÜD come out after this timeout. Is it going to make a difference? Can they rally here? So we're at 4 men.
And for those who are wondering who the clown kissing their guns at number 1 on the line, far left for Squiddos, that is Seb Bastion Bar, given the double Cobra. The double.
Obviously, working hard in the off-season.
Yeah, probably seen enough at 8:13. Just the arrogance, thinks he has it. Going to give some style points, get some sun on those pasty guns.
Bit of sunburn.
Here we go.
That's what you want. Tight shirt, sunburn.
Let's see if it'll restrict his throwing action. Cupcake doesn't even want to give it to him at this point. Instead goes to Prentice.
So OG Squiddos gone with a Horo set up again.
Cupcake moves out, but doesn't have no swing coming to throw to, so moves it back to Prentice. Prentice going inside to Gunshow. Gunshow bar.
Not a lot happening downfield.
It's all clunky, isn't it? No swings coming out. Back to Prentice. Daniel
McGuckin calling
Flores.
Edwards in. Oh, that's SOYPÜD. They've got a chance here.
This is nice.
So interesting to see who picks up the disc and what the set play is here. Oh, Janice, good choice. That's a good matchup.
Connell wants the break. Doesn't get the break. T-Cass on Seb.
Oh,
Seb got a
works
chance
hard
to
get that.
mark someone that actually has guns. Back to Connell. Connell looking break. Really wants that break, but McGuckin doing well. Connell eventually gets the around break, but that's out of bounds.
That's unfortunately, she
Foot
tried to
right
keep
on
that
the
in.
line,
She
yeah.
really did, but then in order to catch the disc,
Tony now marking Seb. Disgusted he has to mark someone with such spaghetti arms. But Seb throws it. The reduction in motion
great D, huge D there.
means Mahoney
Quick
got the
pick
D.
up, quick pick up by Janice there. Oh, pops it over the top. Hendry's just off his player at the moment.
High release.
Oh,
Mahoney.
great work. Wonderful work there by Janice to just pick up that disc quickly and take advantage
100%.
of the OG Squiddos just a bit trying to scrambling,
Yep.
trying to find their players.
Rory finally got his break side throw. I think to McGuckin's credit, he'd done a really good job of locking down anything, especially on an inside break.
Just that, Flores just couldn't get her hands to it, running too fast.
And then
Tony having to work hard to get that disc, just put a little bit too far in front of him, but that's all right, got there. The milk crates didn't prevent him from getting that disc.
And then nice D from Mahoney. Just sits up a little bit now. We've seen that upwind. We've mentioned it.
Oh, just
Gets in front of Tullett. A little bit of contact, unintentional, and after the disc had been dispatched.
brilliant work here. Just pops it over the top, nice and easy.
And two players lining up. So game not done, 9-13. SOYPÜD not ready to go away.
So Powley's little spiel has obviously put a bit of fire in the belly of SOYPÜD.
Inspirational. Maybe.
He needed to contribute. Maybe he's paying for the accommodation.
Maybe he did it on purpose.
Yeah.
Maybe he's like, I'm going to give this team some resilience. Guys, we slept on milk crates last night. 5 points down is nothing.
Oh, and Alice does well to get there. Oh,
Nice
Ash
work.
is kicking himself that he didn't get to that one.
And
Oh, distracted by the shine off the guns there.
Sebo's rig.
Went to Janice. We've seen Janice really open up the field with her throws.
Problems here.
Here we go again.
That's a travel or a stall or a foul.
Any one of those. So, it's stall out. So they're having a bit of a chat. It's been retracted, so retracted stall out there.
All right, Ash Evans.
In the middle of the field.
They're moving behind, but the stack's not adjusting. So now the stack are good, 20 metres too deep.
Oh,
Saved by a
Rory.
really good break throw by Janice to Rory, to Powley. Rory goes down. Powley, back to Janice.
She is churning it up. Oh, bit of a chat because Rory, bit of contact. He's tripped over, he's fallen over. So they're just chatting about whether or not that was a foul or contact or that actually impacted the play.
So Janice is about 10 out. I think they're saying it can stay. They probably should stay. They don't think that affected the play.
Now this will be interesting because previously when SOYPÜD have had it here, there's a bit of chaos happening. And yep, looks like that's
More
continuing.
the same. Good.
Yep. Let's all clog the space. Oh, Janice, great sight, great
That's
vision.
cracking.
That's what they need.
Rory looks break, but Cullen went too early, so no space to throw into. Back to Janice. Janice.
Oh, she's done
Moves
well
it
there.
up.
So Shen did well there to get that disc. Back to Evans. Oh,
Powley, it's a
completely
goal.
open.
13-10.
Didn't we say they needed to use all of their players on the field, including their
Well,
women?
no.
Oh,
You
no.
said that.
Yeah.
You said that, right? And you are right.
And look,
Take the credit back.
So look, they've started using all of their players, hitting the open
And
player rather than the
lo and
target.
behold,
They just walked that in. So unfortunately here, Seb's guns just
not
causing
big
too
enough.
much of a distraction.
So 10-13.
There's where Rory fell over, but I don't know that anything was called there. So
It had happened at about the same time as that throw, so that's why it's going to stay there.
So Shen did well to get that, just looking to centre it back in the middle of the field. And then Evans, nice and easy to power. You just towed that line. So they did well to not cram it in that space. Janice did well to get that, swing it over, get into the middle, getting them the score. So
13-10 is the score.
So since Powley's little G-up speech.
Pump up any given Sunday kind of Hoosiers style speech. Yep.
Yeah, they've gotten the next 2 goals. So if they can keep this memento.
Ball's coming down. Egan Griffiths probably been the best on for Squiddos today.
Squiddos throwing. The wind has picked up a little bit again.
Yeah, Inzi to Egan Griffiths. Egan Griffiths, Cupcake working hard to try and get free. Tony read it in the lane. That means Joshi can now go deep. Nobody wanted it. All 3 players scream deep, which means the GOAT can come under, get it uncontested. GOAT uncontested, moves it through to Cupcake. Cupcake over to Inzi. Had a little bit of air, but the big fella was good enough to deal with it. Right on the sideline now. Right move is to dump it off, which he does. No swing present for Cupcake, so he goes inside to Egan Griffiths. Egan Griffiths decides not to pinch one into the lane to Andrews instead. Does the right thing. Shoots up. Nice big swing, and now Cupcake can hit the GOAT. Really nice cycling. That was what they needed to do. GOAT now inside. Fantastic throw from the GOAT to Andrew. Andrew right on the end zone line. They all crowd him. And there's a bit of a call.
So Andrew's looking upfield and not a lot of options, but OG Squiddos, they're pretty happy to just chill out with the disc, bounce it around till their offense ready and set up. So
well, once again, Egan Griffiths doing the best thing on the field in terms of just going, you know what, the biggest thing we need is a swing, not an upwinder. And then the GOAT, really nice gainer, inside break flick. Tyler goes up the line, but once again, Egan Griffiths.
Looking for that swing.
Now they moved it back. Stack hasn't really adjusted. They're a tiny bit deep. Rob wants to go break, but Egan Griffiths' defender was in the way. Cupcake goes to the open side, nothing doing. GOAT cuts to the front of the stack, and instead they're just going to work it around and keep resetting the clock between Andrew and Egan Griffiths. They eventually get it out to the GOAT, who's on the end zone line. 2 dumps now. Yeah. Egan Griffiths doesn't like anything, but doesn't have a dump now, but there's something that it's out the back, and it's going to go back. Yeah, so there's a pick out the back of the stack.
Now the discussion is...
Here we go.
Here
we go. And Ruben knows he might need to get amongst it.
Because there's always a bit of confusion around this pit rule
always
as to whether or not should Rob Andrews have gone and caught that disc, and the answer is...
he should have.
Yep, yes,
he should have. Did he? No.
Oh, so there's now a bit of a chat on the mark about whether or not it was a stall out.
Oh,
so
wow.
That's the next conversation.
Well, you know what happens next.
No, okay, all right. So it's coming back in. Must be a high stall count. There we go.
Cupcake to Inzi. Cupcake's free. Gets to run on. Unfortunately, critical error from, I think it was Daniel was marking Cupcake, decided to stay in and try and affect the thrower rather than staying with the mark, or staying with his mark. 14-10. Squiddos get a desperately needed steadier, and now are just 1 away from booking a spot in the show at 1:30. We think they'll likely pay Pie Wagon, who we believe dispensed with My Caroma, not Caroma, My Caroma.
So that'll be an interesting final if that's what we get.
That's a cracking final. I think that's the final everyone thought that they would come to see. Maybe Hills, but
we'll see though. I think SOYPÜD, they're not going to let them just walk this one in.
Oh, I don't think so at all. They were pretty dirty on themselves in terms of how what they dished up to Pie Wagon, particularly in the first half. So I think we're going to see a great game. They need to score 1 though.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to say. That's what I said. SOYPÜD's not going to just roll over and let this happen.
So we've got Tullett pulling downwind. SOYPÜD need to hold their offense, stay alive, and then they'll be doing it on D from this point out. Tullett, nice long pull.
Had a little bit of a grunt there to get that effort, get it out.
And it's a brick.
Just gone out.
So Exactly what SOYPÜD want. We have seen, particularly off deep reception, SOYPÜD offense really struggling in the first couple of throws. So this way, they'll all get a chance to set up, remind each other of what the roles are, get their dump in good position. Brie Edgar doesn't look like she's missed a beat through a couple of years out.
Not at all.
Rory throws around the poach. Hits Cal.
And it's Bob going deep. Dennis is, and it's trailing to the right side, and Powley's backing it up. I don't think he was the intended target there.
Oh, he's driving the bus too.
Do not think he was the intended target, but good to be there.
Callan's pretty much saying as much. Oh, yeah, you guys had it.
Put it up.
Yeah.
I mean, look, they were both deep with their players. Put it out in front.
Yeah.
And we got 11-14.
So we're going to see SOYPÜD's defensive line from here on out.
Now, the wind has died down a little bit.
Correct.
For the OG Squiddos, but, I mean, statistics show that potentially could pick up any point during this game and become an absolute gale. So we're still on game point, but SOYPÜD putting up a bit of a fight, making them work for it. So they got tight shirt back on for OG Squiddos. Put the guns away.
Hasn't
obviously. I mean, it distracted Peely too much last time, so they've learned the lesson. All right. Looks like SOYPÜD, looks like they're doing a match defense. They're having a bit of a chat about who's going to be marking up on who. We haven't seen any zone in this
Tell
game.
you what, I was about to say, though, that's not a bad idea.
Yeah,
if they want to change something.
We haven't seen zone at all. Though you'd be a bit wary about putting it on OG Squiddos. They've got a lot of good disc skills on their team.
Callan gambled, went for a roller, but Cupcake was able to drag it in. He moves, big outside gainer to Seb.
Or Peely going. Oh, no, comes back under.
Great under. McGuckin, lazy man's cut, doesn't get it. Or Tony half a sniff on Seb. Seb moves it to Cupcake, to Tullet, to Tulay.
Tulay's looking for a dump.
Engages Tony. Tony's going to have half a bite.
Good match up there.
Great match.
Bar and Castellano. Oh. French is saying, send it out. Not quite in. Oh, to Edwards. Puts it out. Oh, that was a bit of a greedy throw, I feel. He wanted that final score. Thought, I'll show him how it's done, but...
Oh, are you suggesting there's a bit of Hollywood about Cupcake? Is that what you're saying?
I didn't say that. I just
Blow
think it was a
me
bit
down.
Of a,
I'll
bit
just
of a greedy
pick
throw.
my jaw up off the floor, Beck. All right, let's see if they can make him pay. Powley and Cupcake give each other a hug. And they go. Two go.
Shen's streaming. Oh, Janice gets it. Janice has been doing really well to get open. Oh! Goes to center it. So Rory's just having a bit of a think about whether there was some contact in that. We'll have a look. So Janice looks to send it. Cupcake comes through.
I think it just bounced out of his hand.
Yeah, I don't think there was any contact at all in that. But we'll let them have a bit of a chat about it. Obviously, they don't have live stream, a screen to have a look at constantly to see if it's there. And in a regular game, you wouldn't normally have it. So make the decision on the field about what happened. All right, and yep, Rory said no. That was a clean D. So let's see if Tulay tries once again.
So Bar walking to the disc.
Bar's getting it.
Stack a little deep, but obviously they've got a plan. Cycles it through to
Sprague making a massive cut.
Nearly
Nearly gets in the way.
up off his bootstraps.
Looking for Tulay. These two having played together a lot.
Yeah.
Know each other's style, where they're going to be. Very comfortable bouncing it amongst each other. Oh, pick in the end zone.
The Ely Spielman matchup is really interesting for me. Both have a really good top line speed. You probably give it even to Spielman. However, Ely's off his first 3 steps. If I was OG Squiddos, I'd be putting Ely in almost an ISO position and just getting every second pass.
So
Here we go, they go up once again. The Hollywood brothers.
Just, yeah, we'll get it done. But, you know, and OG Squiddos have been so patient around the end zone up until now, but they seem to be just trying to finish the game.
Speaking of, Paolo has to go. He's got to go. Go, big fella.
Why
Oh.
did get on your guts, Paolo? I mean,
no
maybe that
call.
was punishment for the accommodation thing. Just
Yep.
going to make him run as
Yeah,
far
yeah.
as he can,
Put him
as
into the
fast as he can.
ground. Yeah.
But he went, no, I'm not falling for that, guys. All right, so Seb Barr going to pick up the disc. Interesting that Peely's gone to the back. He's sitting pretty far out from the back of the stack here.
But he's pretty far out, but he's right on Cal. Oh, sorry, Cal's right there. It opts not to go him. Cal almost tries to poach D, so they've run some kind of switch. Maybe they're running a bracket off the front. Moves outside to Ely.
Prentice so open there. Oh, the wind catching that a little bit,
Yep.
but he didn't put a lot of spin on that one. Oh,
No.
Tony.
No, Don.
Oh.
Plaston. And they've called a timeout because the madness needs to end.
Oh, wait, a bit of a chat about when it's coming in. Yep, and timeout. I think that's a good call there. But Tony just not really thinking about that throw there. He, the wind, the conditions have changed. You just can't put that type of throw up and not expect, in this type of game, not expect someone to come running through and grab that. It was just a little bit too lax. So here we see Seb sends it over to Toulet. Great grab there. And look, just sends it out too far to Edwards. That's the first turnover that they had on the end zone line. So Squiddos just needing a bit of patience around the end zone. Go back to their original style of play, just chilling out in front of the end zone. And Janice, who's done so well, great D there
It was
by
a heads up by
Talit.
Talit, yeah. He did well.
So just got word for the other semi-final that Pie Wagon just had a bit of an easy win and took it over Maikaroma. We did hear the siren during that last point, but game to 15.
Given we're at 14,
Yeah.
we'll go to 15 regardless.
So
Special howdy to Joe Hope, who's watching from over in Europe. Thank you to Ulti TV and Ultimate Australia for bringing this, making it a possibility.
So let's see, can OG Squiddos just go back to their calm offense, walk this one in? So they've set themselves up in a horror stack. It'd be interesting to see if SOYPÜD change defense. They're sticking to match. Looks like they're sticking to match defense. Rory choosing to stand a little bit deep of his player. Oh no.
They're sending a big poach.
So they've got
they're
C
leaving
sitting in the
Sprague.
lane.
Yeah.
And they've left that third handler completely unmarked. All right, so there we go. Alice finding her play now. They've gone to match. So McGuckin gets it on the sideline. Peely's streaming, but Guck says, no, I want it back in the middle.
Good.
And we've got Sprague with the disc now, looking for tight shirt.
Guck's gone.
And people, they're wanting to send it, but there's just the cutters deep are going too early. Oh, that was a throw before a catch.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, I've got this. I'm going to look for the swing.
Quick
oh, Janice.
dagger.
Janice.
Go!
Oh,
Goes!
that was huge.
Up and about.
Oh my gosh. Janice is so good at just picking up the disc, looking, and then C was just there. She knew exactly what Janice wanted, and
It's very good. We like it.
so, SOYPÜD. So that's interesting. OG Squiddos called that timeout.
Yep.
They called that timeout to settle things down, and then Sprague just
Well,
throwing before she caught it.
Yeah, but I also didn't mind the whatever
change
that
of-
transition
yeah,
kind of.
yep,
It's
sitting
almost
that
like they ran a
person in the lane.
triangle. They were like, okay, cool, we're happy.
Yep.
If they want to run a big swing over to the third handler, that's cool. But it was also only for a couple of passes. So everyone pulled their head in and went, okay, cool, we're out of that now. I'm just going to play accountable defense.
Just to stop that initial play, because that's if the OG Squiddos get that first couple of passes, it's hard to play that catch up because they're just so quick.
Yeah. So C put their body on the line for the team. 14-12, we're not done. That said, this probably will be short of, if we hit double game point, it will be the OG Squiddos' best shot coming out on O, going downwind. We've seen SOYPÜD put it in upwind, but it hasn't been easy nor pretty. Spielman with a decent enough pull. land just inside the end zone line. Egan Griffiths
Oh,
has to
they've
reel
done
it in.
well to run down SOYPÜD and put it on straight away.
Egan Griffiths to Tullett. Tullett wants Andrew. Andrew has to come under. Tullett wants nothing to do with it. Goes back instead to Egan Griffiths. Egan Griffiths put a little bit of air, but Joshi Phillips, a big boy, he gets it. Inzi looks out to Cupcake.
Seb's coming across. Ooh.
Can't have it. Instead goes inside to Egan Griffiths. Best on for the OG Squiddos today. Egan Griffiths wants people to come back under. Has nothing. Cupcake standing a little bit too close. Gives a little shake and bake on Mahoney. Looks for the backhand break. Instead throws the open forehand bar, middle of the field. Goes inside break down low, and this could
Andrews
be it.
is there. Oh, that's it.
And that's the game.
I'll be honest, that wasn't the cleanest offense from OG
but
Squiddos.
they
They
get
were
it
a bit
done.
lost, but that's the game that's there. And so that means that we have a final against Pie Wagon and OG Squiddos. But unfortunately, SOYPÜD got to keep the cleats on because they're playing at 10:50, I believe. So they don't get much of a break.
So it will be SOYPÜD versus my Karoma.
Yep,
correct, in
for
the bronze medal
our
game.
bronze medal match.
And that'll be at
10:50 streaming
Fantastic.
here. And
then the gold medal at 1:30.
Absolutely. But before that, we do, there is a cultural diversity game happening.
Tell us more about that.
So they're looking at the fact that our wonderful sport has many various different representations within it, people from different cultural backgrounds. And so to showcase a little bit of that, we're going to have a bit of a short little game that's going to happen, which will be awesome to see. I know that Simon Talbot is going to have some commentary and some interviews on the sideline, getting some of the players to share their journey of how they got into the sport, and a little bit about their experiences in playing Ultimate Frisbee in Australia. So something to look forward to.
Does that mean I should have brought my Irish jersey?
You should have brought your Irish jersey.
I don't think I got an invite, but I'll talk to Simon about that.
Yeah, okay.
In any case, for now, that's it. As Beck said, we'll be back at 10:50 to bring you the bronze medal game as a cultural diversity game, and then finally the grand final between Pie Wagon and the OG Squiddos at 1:30. All right, we'll see you then.